the ways in which I've grown specifically are I feel more confident. And that was pretty big. What I was playing with when we first started was I really being aware of being in new soil, being in new environment and having support. And that was the question when I came in is like, what's possible now that I have so much support in my personal life and that all of that, like my soul is calm, my environment is calm, my mind is calm, my heart is like just constantly being poured into. Now that that's like in a good space and my physical home, like the actual I saw this really funny thing recently about somebody saying that they're a recovering garbage person. And it was so hysterical to me because what it's referring to is a person. To me, I think it's out of balance Virgo is what it's referring to. Because when Virgo's not in balance, like we're a freaking mess. Like we're a mess. That's what I've seen anyway. But anyway, having been a recovered garbage person, it's just nice to have the home orderly. Like I have my routines and my things, and it takes me just if people were to come over, I really wouldn't have to pick up. Like that's
Yeah.
before. But it's nice. So that's set, I have the homeschooling stuff with Adeline now all set. And so it was okay, so now what? Like now what can we do with work, which was really great. And um what I really needed is to get lit up again about myself and my work and my things because I felt like I was so much on autopilot for a lot of reasons for a really long time. And I resonate with a lot of what Inez said, partly because we share that Libra rising and a lot of the same transits and things like that. So it was just really beautiful to come into this space, and that was one of the main things is really a lot more confidence.
Mhm.
And what else did I write here? Oh, renewed self-belief and a sense of purpose. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, the next one, because we'll go right into it for you.
Mm.
What have you decided to do since we started? And what has that decision done for you?
Yeah, to just do it. I've decided that success is on all levels is inevitable. It's just like there's no more, I wonder if this is the year. It's like, no, I just do it. This is what we're doing. Because there was a lot of waiting, I think, for a long time for a lot of reasons. I mean, it makes sense why, but I feel like that waiting in some ways, like I don't have an expectation really of what that means. But I know that there's not this waiting anymore that I can just action. And that was one of the biggest changes is like actually being able to action ideas. Like I have the bandwidth to do that and the support to do that and the inspiration to do that. Um, and I think part of the decision was really getting clear on who I am. Like, what is a successful person? Like, what are their actions? Like, what is that version of me? Like, that identity piece, really tuning into that identity piece has been huge for me. Um, all summer I worked on that a lot for me personally because I had so much, and I still have a lot of stuff to heal. Um, my heart was very broken for a long time, and it's just there's a lot of pieces of just healing all that. But I think I lost my train of thought. Anyway, yes, the decision piece around the identity and just deciding who I am and what does she do? What are her actions? Like, how is she thinking? And just really like becoming that person. And something that was really significant for me a few months ago, probably around the time we started, was recognizing that the person that got me through probably the last 5 years was me. It's this version that I am right now. Like it was her, my future self is this one. That's the one that got me through. It was like, just keep going. And that was a tremendous realization because then it's like, okay, so now we're not trying to get us out of a bad situation. Now we're looking at what are these next levels? Like, because one thing is to thrive and then you start thriving and then it's like, but even more is possible. And it's like, even more is possible. It's like, how good can it get? So it's those kinds of things and anchoring into that. So it's deciding that I am that person.
Oof.
Yeah.
I also like when things that we've worked on behind the scenes together was like figuring out which strategy would be the best for you. And we
Yeah.
had to play a game of like, does this strategy work? And I wonder where, I don't, in your chart and your profile where that is, but it was like, let's drop in this strategy and see how it feels. And like, you were like, yeah, no, I don't think that's it. And we're like, great, back to the, like, maybe it's this. And through that, like trial and error, you're a 2-4, right?
I'm a 6'2".
6-2. So it's the six, probably, right? It's like we had to like be like, wait, does that make sense for you? And you coming back like a week later and be like, that doesn't make sense to me. I think I need to work on this. And then like a whole secret garden opened up,
Yeah.
right? With that, I was like, oh my God, yeah, we have to, but we had to go through there to like get to that gate or something.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring that to light, that it's not always going to be like, this is the thing that's going to work and we're going to do that. It's like we were very clear. We played with it. We were like in a playground with it. And as I said, love and relate to so much of what you're sharing. Go ahead.
Yeah, there were so many pieces, I think I've been doing this work for a long time, about the same amount of time that you have, and I've created a lot. And I'm where I'm at is when I started my work presenting it, this is the work. So there wasn't a whole lot of changing around, where some people in the online space, there's changing around, they're figuring out their expression and like what modality and what this. And it's like, my lane's my lane's my lane. And I've been in my lane for a long time. So I've just created so much. And so that was one of the issues we had is I have all this. Now what do I do with it? Do we just create more? Like, where are we at? And what do we want to be doing? And um how do I honor who I was and the potential of that work for who that resonates with, and honoring who I am now. And that's been really interesting to be able to do both things. And then working on these like nurture sequences and all this stuff that the things that don't resonate as much with me anymore, but will resonate with people that are at that phase. Like, how can I like automate that so I don't have to be in that energy all the time, right?
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
You also are a great representation of the keep the passive passive. Keep the, like we were saying, the vanilla. My teacher called it the vanilla. The
Mhm.
vanilla is what you're good at teaching, what you've already taught, and what you can absolutely lean on. Who needs to hear that? Like, and then you've got what is your breaking your breaking edge, your breaking, what am I trying to say?
Yeah. The cutting edge,
Cutting edge. Thank you. The cutting edge is what you're being called to next. And I see you all writing this down right now. So, right, it's like the vanilla bits and vanilla's great. Everyone wants vanilla too. Like, whether we're talking sex or actual flavor of fucking ice cream, okay? Everyone loves the vanilla, but your vanilla should be passive. It's what you've already done. It's what you're doing, because you all have a cutting edge. And the cutting edge is what you're being called to. And for you, it was like, so taking, because I know some of us have heard this and we've done a lot of this in our private session, Alexis, but for anyone who needs to hear this, you decided, we worked through it, but you decided you're going to let all those old courses, that brilliance of yours, sit passively and sell it passively in your portal, so that you can really focus on the channeling and the new courses wanting to come through you.
Yeah,
And certificate, are you gonna right, like, is it gonna be a certification?
it is. You're
Yeah.
so psychic. Um, yeah, it is. And so I was working on that last night, that the channeling, it's going to be by application, and it is going to be a certification. So the way and the reason why I do certifications is because I give people time so that there's metrics that they meet and practices that they do. And then they're submitting that they did that thing. And I'm saying, yes, you did that thing. This looks great. Like, yes, you're ready to do this. And I love that for a couple of reasons. One, because it gives a person a lot of confidence. And two, it helps me feel really comfortable putting my seal behind a person. And when people come in that way, they know that that's the relationship we're coming into. So I'm really proud to have them represent my work and my teachings. And vice versa. They feel really proud to have come from like my teaching. So it's just a really great, I like that way. It just keeps the energy really clean. And um yeah. So
Yes.
yes.
Oh. God, you guys, you guys. Okay,
Mhm.
moving into the next one, which we're kind of pretty much there, but what have you created since starting this?
Yeah, what's interesting is I don't think there's anything that's like fresh, new. What I've created is the pathways to put it all
Yeah.
freaking together.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I feel like it's like we had this building that was full of all my building materials and these plans and, like, all this stuff, and it's like, okay, you have the land, you have the building materials, you have the architecture, like, what are we doing? Like, when are you gonna, like, put this stuff I mean, I even had the furniture and the decor and everything, and
Yeah.
it's like, so are we gonna build the house or, like, what are we doing here, right? So I feel like we're building the house.
Yeah.
We're finally, like, taking things so that's what I've created is, like, actually the pathways to put it all together, and before what was happening is I wasn't letting myself be visible, and I was making it really hard for people to pay me and for people to come into my space, like and at the same time, it was a total cop out of saying, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I have stuff. I have links. I did my work." And it's like, "No, you're freaking hiding."
Mm,
So I think that that's it is I'm creating like the showcase of, okay, this is it.
I
Mhm.
love that analogy. And then here I come out of my car, down the sidewalk with my iced coffees and snacks. Like
And
I
telling everyone what to do.
Yeah, I'm like, I love the chaos. Let's just sit and look at it. Let's see what the fuck we're working with here. And look how
The
quickly
project manager.
like that's how you felt 12 weeks ago, and now look how clear she is, guys. I mean, we have figured out already on the back end, we figured out your passive strategy, how we're gonna set this stuff passive and sell it so she doesn't have to do any work besides like, I don't know, it will be like a trigger or a post or something, you know what I mean, that kicks it off. How she's gonna do her active stuff, the active things that are coming to her and through her, while simultaneously, this is the neutral part for you too, is like, while continuously doing everything that people are paying for you right now already, which
Mhm.
is the ongoing stuff. It's actually at a neutral space for you. You can just show up and do it. Agreed?
Yeah, which is really nice, and I feel like I've been in neutral for a long time, which is really funny, and I'm really, really grateful that I had set myself up to be in that neutral space, besides the support that I have too, but, to be in that, like, neutral, and so it's fun to have those other pieces, and with the passive piece, I think that's what I've been playing with the reels, is that that's basically what it is, it's that simple. Is that you put this and you have what you lead to. So you know where you're leading to people and you play with it. And it's the same strategy every time. It's just which template's coming out. It's the same freaking strategy. You don't need 100 strategies. It's just one strategy that works for me. And
Yep.
I'm doing something different every time maybe of what I'm talking about, but it's the same damn thing, and I love that. I love knowing what to do and what to expect from myself, I think is what it is like I post a reel and I'm sending them somewhere, and so
Mhm.
playing with that action of doing that even before the, whole nurture sequence is done and all these pieces. The other thing that's really exciting about this, and I don't even remember what the question was at this point, but, what was the question?
I don't know. Just go. Just go.
Is we have that passive piece, but also getting ready to actually have and I've made launch plans before, and I've launched expansion principle practitioner training probably, I don't know, 20 times and ran it 15 times. But there's a lot of excitement to see that we actually have like a nurture sequence for it. Like we have a plan for the launch that's not just posts, like, it's a strategy that's beyond that, and it's really weaving everything together, and that's really fun, and so practicing with this passive one first, and
Yes.
how that's gonna lead into the excitement for that next launch, and how each one because you're doing the same strategy every time, people I'm, like, training people of what to expect from me.
Exactly.
This is what she does. I get to watch her material. I really like it. It's fun. And then she tells me what she's doing. I go look, see if I want it or not. No. Okay. Oh, we're doing this again. Okay, fun. What's the thing now? Okay, I get the material I want and to that kind of thing. And what I was doing with my nurture sequence, which we'll have to talk about this on a private call more, but I was on each email kind of sending them to like, well, here's a link for this episode from the podcast that'll help you with this thing you downloaded. Oh,
Yeah.
and here's the YouTube channel and this particular video, because this is so just really in the sequence leading each piece that I have, because I have all this shit. Like I have a fucking book and a podcast. I like all this stuff that people want to have, like I have done. Like it's done, it's there. And so what's really fun about the passive one is that I don't know. I feel like I'm getting my groove with it. Like I'm figuring out what I've been struggling to figure out for like 8 years, and it's really coming together. And a lot of that is inspiration from you because you're brilliant, and holding space for like that genius within me. But it's just really fun to get. I get it now. Like I get it now. And I noticed when I was wanting to do the email sequence, I'm like, well, why didn't I sit down and break my computer out and do that? Why did I like distract myself? I think, right? It was a distraction. Like I started the book, which is great that the book's going to get done.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what if it wasn't a distraction? Why didn't I do it? And I thought, oh, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any structure. There's no frameworks. Like, okay, well, let's sit down and map out what is the sequence. So each email, what am I doing in each email? Because how can I sit down to write something if I don't even know what the hell it is? So I doing that, and then I don't know. Again, I don't remember a question, but the book is another piece that's really huge of it's so cute. Um of I mean that's huge. Like I wrote it 4.5 years ago, and for that to be like we're getting it done.
Yeah.
It will likely be published in March at the latest.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so that's also right on target with all the other things that we're doing. Like it's all these pieces. I'm just really excited for the next launch of EP, which will be I think it's going to be May, June. You and I will have to sit down. And I was looking at the Emrys just to see like, what is the energy really? June is when I first started it. June, I think 17th was the first time I did an attunement ever. So I kind of play with the idea of doing that again.
Yeah.
Let's get in on that energy again. And what's fun is like I normally like
Solstice.
get antsy and I was like, let's do it right now. I have energy. And it's like, no, let's just wait. Let's let this work. Let's do, because that gives me time to launch two other things. So one being like let's do this passive thing. Let's play with what happens when the expansion labyrinth, when I do that and just start this nurture sequence and just do that for a little while. And then what happens when I do the channeling course, like, later in the spring or mid-spring or whenever the hell we do it, right? And then from there, what is then I would have done two at that point of just really consistently having stuff going out. And the consistency's been huge. Guy tells me that's one of the main things we talk about and that I've really integrated and learned is like that consistency. And so again, I have no idea what question we're on, but one of the things that's been huge is the podcast. I've done one every week since January.
Great.
And
Yes.
that was the goal, is to have one on Thursday. Thursday's Jupiter's day, which is expansion day. Every Thursday it gets put out. No matter what, it's out, right? Having and I did that for all of January consistently, now into February, and now playing with the reels of like, okay, I have one habit down, let's go into the next habit. Like, okay, so I do a reel 5 to 7 times a week. And then just really slowly, like I know the things that I want to do. And in the past, I've always tried to do them all at once. And then I drop all of them because you're trying to carry all the laundry and the dishes and the potting that you need to do in one load. It's like, well, that doesn't work. You need to do one and then go to the next. And then when you have that, then you go to the next. Um, so that I think I'm done talking now.
Guys, I might combust on this call. You might watch me turn into an ascended master right in front of your fucking eyes and disappear off the planet. Like, just what you guys have said makes me feel so fulfilled in my life right now. Like, I feel like this is like a graduation to another level for me or something. Like, fuck you guys. I'm like drooling. I'm crying. I have to pee so bad. So where do you think you are on the creation triangle right now?
The fuck's a creation triangle?
You, oh my God. With the
Like,
neutral
what am I
and creative
creating?
too. With the neutral, the passive, the active, where do you think you are right now?
Oh, I mean, we have to say active, right? I
Totally.
mean,
Totally.
yeah, I think. And what's fun about that is that I've worried, again, I relate with Inez again because of those similarities. Bye.
Bye.
Is I know this cycle where I'll get excited and I'll do things. And there's a part of me that like worries, like, oh man, am I going to do that again? Where then I drop off and I'm gone for like however long. It's like, no, this is different. Why? Because of being aware of that triangle and knowing where I'm at now. And like in my active time, making sure that part of my active time is taking care of the passive, taking care of the neutral, like doing all these
Yes.
pieces so that when that shifts in again, being a two line, which she happens to be as well, like, and when I shift into that hermit mode, it's always been the question of like, what do I do? And so I know what to do now because all I have to do is do what I keep doing, which is every week I put a podcast episode. Every week I put some reels out. And these are not new, fresh reels. Like these are reels of things that I've done. So that's
Yes.
the other fun thing is that we use the neutral stuff, like the Bardo experience that happens twice a month anyway, and we're getting our reels from that. We're getting our reels from when I teach. We're getting our reels from, when I do feel like doing stories, I save them. And I've been really mindful of the way I speak in the stories to be where I can repurpose that really easily, where it's not just, hi, how are you? It's Tuesday. It's like, let me be really intentional about how I'm speaking in this story so that I know that I can repurpose this as a reel. So that's really fun. It's like I just know what to do. So even when I go into hermit mode, and I'm in the more passive or neutral spaces, like I know what to do, and all I have to do is keep doing those things, which I've learned about myself that I do best when now. If I know what to expect, if I know what I have to do, then I can do it. It's when I'm like a scattered pigeon and where's my bus? I don't even know what's frick happening. Then I just stop and I can't function at all. And that's been what I've been doing for all this, probably my whole life. So it's just really exciting. And so I'd say active now, and then I'm sure the other phases are coming eventually, but I'm ready for them. And it doesn't scare me as much anymore where it has in the past. It's like when I have the energy and then I use it up and then what? So
I want to say about the opus, it's like this is actually feminine
mhm.
principles, like what you and I have been doing, what I teach all my clients. I'm like, to chop up your old work. That's brilliant. Even if it's cringe level to you to look back, chopping up your greatest hits and letting people see you. This is the visibility that so many of us are missing. And like I've stepped out of the shadow. All of my 2024 was stepping out of the shower and be like, Jake, out of the shower. LOL. Out of the
Maybe
shadow,
that too.
out of the shower, whatever. And like let people see me. Like it's one thing to write, and it's one thing, I agree, to have a curated post. It's another one to see like me batshit crazy on a call like this, drooling and fucking crying. You know what I mean? I mean, like, oh, that's her energy. There's no lie there.
Yeah.
There's no lie. And I'm so glad that you're doing it. I also have Gianna doing it. She's like, everyone's like, where are you getting these clips from? And I'm screaming it from Opus AI. Opus AI. I think I pay $15 a month for it. Did you do the paid level or did you do the free level?
So we did paid level, and I think I need to do the one that's for the year because it gives us 3,000. Like right now we're doing by the month, and I feel like we don't have enough. Like we're
Yeah,
running out of credit. So I think I need to do
great. Yeah.
the one for the year and then
What
kind of
a
go.
great tool, though. Do you agree? Like, it's not
Oh
just me saying it. You agree, like, it has everything you need.
yeah, no, it's great. It works really well, and no, it's great.
Cool. Cool. Another thing I wanted to say was when you were saying, like, I've been at this creation level before. I've been here before. I've been at this place where this brilliance comes out of me and I'm going to do these things. I say I'm going to do these things. I think also the difference, I just want to plug in here, is that in my programs, I've created a multiple accountability net.
Yeah,
Right. So this isn't really one of those programs you can sign up for and then disappear. I will call on you.
yeah,
I will, and I'm not saying that we can't have bad weeks, bad months. It's not about that. We're spending a year together. We're spending 2, 3 years together. How many of you are on year 3 with me? Both Lisa and Lexi are like on year 3 with me, right? Because it's longevity. This is a
yeah.
longevity game. So your privates with me and then the group stuff. And then the homework checks, email homework checks, sending me things in the group chat. And I get to it when I can, and you guys listen to the response when you can. It's beautiful, it's natural, it's feminine, but I think there's like a web of accountability where I go, no, let's stick this through. It's going to get hard. Look, it's going to get hard right here. Actually, I'll tell you where it's going to get hard. And that's when we go deeper into let's get you some support. Okay. Last question here. What have you received? I mean, you basically, you all have said this through and through, but what have you received and benefited from this experience so far in 12 weeks?
Yeah, I feel like I've received myself. Yeah, I feel like I've received myself. This part, like I had when I know I talk about him all the time, but I don't care. When I met Guy, I met myself again for the first time. And I remember that first few weeks together, I kept telling him, I feel more like myself than I ever have in my entire life. And it was just this continual thing, like my shape changed, my face changed, like I dropped weight fast. I had already been dropping weight, but it was just like this whole thing that was happening really, really quickly. And it's just I felt the most like myself than I ever have. And I feel like in this next phase, it's like integrating that. And what that means is like in business and in my outward expression has been like discovering like who I am in this space. Which has been amazing. I mean, and then everything else I said already, right? Being able to action things like all and having the accountability, but also like in a really fun way because accountability can sometimes be like, that Saturn stuff. And this feels, it feels fun. There's no, "Oh, did you do this?" There's like, "Hey, what'd you do?" And it's so different of, "Did you do this?" or "What did you do?" "Did you," it's like the flavor is so different and like with everyone, with all of us sharing what we're doing and where we're at and wherever that is, and it's exciting. Even if some one of us we're going to be in different phases, like if somebody's more passive in a moment or neutral, like, but it's still fun and it reminds you of like, "Oh, okay, I'm in this space, but now I can come back into this next space." And I think that's pretty cool. To have that.
Oh,
So thank you.
I am so happy for you. I'm excited to work with you. You guys just make my day. You guys make my week. You make my year. This is just, it feels so fucking good to be in here with you guys.
Yeah.
Am I gonna cry again? Okay. Thank you for your share and your testimony. And I can't wait to do this in another 12 weeks. I'll just throw that out there right now. I don't want to look too far ahead, but like, oh my God.
I can't even, yeah.
Right? So we'll just be in this moment now and we'll be in this bliss together. Okay, let's move on.